Hello and welcome to another Tor Tutor video. In this video I'm going to show you a match from the Warzone called the Voidstar. Before starting, however, always make sure that you have the daily PvP quest picked up from the quest terminal found in your fleet's combat training area. Also, make sure that you check the currencies tab of your inventory to ensure that you are not near or at the Warzone commendation cap of 1000. Any commendations gained past 1000 are lost forever. Once you're ready to start, click the Warzone button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen and then choose how you want to queue up. At this time, it's not possible to select which Warzone you want to join, but hopefully this is something BioWare will add in the future. The Voidstar is an attack and defend Warzone in which one side attempts to fight its way to access the ship's data core, while the other side has to defend the ship and prevent attackers from placing bombs on the doors that lead to the next room and eventually the core. The match is broken up into multiple rounds, and after the completion of each round, the teams switch sides. These are the first doors that the attackers have to get through to win. After getting through the first set of doors, you will have to activate a terminal to enable a bridge to cross to the other side of the room. Once you've crossed the bridge, you will find another pair of doors which will lead to a room protected by 3 different barriers. The barriers are deactivated through one of 3 terminals, and which then takes you to the final room with another 2 doors. Keep in mind that there are 3 different barriers and 3 different terminals. Activating one of the terminals will only deactivate one of the barriers, so if you want fast access to the entire room, you will have to deactivate all the barriers. Once you've blown up the final set of doors, you get to the core, which you then access to win the game. In this match, my team is starting out as the attackers. I decided to run around the side to try and sneak in and place the bomb on the door. The green objective you see on the right there is a healing boost. Picking it up will remove it and boost you for about 50 to 80% of your health. I noticed my teammates already placing the bomb, so I throw a cryo grenade to stun the Imperial Guard. Luckily, he doesn't notice that my teammate's placing the objective and instead attacks me. And when he does notice, it's way too late. This is one of the biggest mistakes that people make in Warzones. Always be sure that you're looking at the objectives, otherwise people will get them and you're just going to feel like a fool because someone right behind your back took it out. So now I'm just trying to stay around the back to make sure no one can get in. It takes 20 seconds for the bomb to detonate. As this room has now been completed, I'm starting to move into the next room. However, on the way in there, I'm trying to slow and stun and kill as many Imperials as I can because they respawn on the other side of the bridge in the next room, meaning that there's a higher chance of us getting the bridge open. I'm slowly but surely making the way to the next room. As I'm constantly slowed, I'm just backpedaling, just trying to do as much damage as possible while still surviving. And I'm also looking out for any teammates that I can help out if they need it. As you see, my teammate shows up here and decides to help me out. My team has actually already crossed the bridge in the next room, so you can see the terminal on the left here, and I'm gonna circle it with my mouse. There you go. You can see that that's the terminal that you use to open the bridge, and there's one on each side. And you can stand behind the terminal against the big ledge here to open the terminal, which is a great way to hide from the enemy. However, the downside of this is that it's really hard to see the nameplates of other enemies when you're doing that. Now, on the right hand side here, there's also a health pack normally, but someone has already picked it up here. So it's in the exact same location as the other room.
Reactor core level. Evacuation protocol initiated. Please proceed through the lifts to the bridge.
My team is now proceeding to the final room, which is, as I said earlier, protected by 3 barriers. These barriers need to be taken out by activating one of the terminals. You can see in the background that there's a huge blue line coming up from the one furthest away from here. That's one of my teammates actually activating it right now, and luckily for us, all the enemies are right here fighting us, which is another mistake I was talking about earlier. They're not paying attention to the objective, and instead they're just fighting to try and prevent us over here. But if one of them would have looked over there, they could see my teammate opening the barrier. Now, do note that because he's only opening the one furthest away, we won't be able to enter here on the right. And he actually made it through so quickly and just placed the bomb because they were all sitting here fighting. One thing to note is that if you are the defender and you die while the attacking team is on this side, you will spawn on the other side of the barriers. So there's no way for people who had died to come up here and help them unless they come through the open barrier. And as you can see, we have successfully made it into the room and then the core room. It takes about 1 second to place the final objective and you're done.
Data core transfer initialized. Downloading. Please stand
Our
by.
techs have established a link. Hold your ground. You only have close to complete transferring the
As we're now the defenders, we have to defend for as long as it took us to capture the original objective. If we wouldn't have captured the objective, we would have had to defend for the full duration. Always be checking your minimap when you're defending. If you don't see any purple symbols on one side, you want to run over to that door and make sure it's guarded. As a Vanguard, I can't heal people, but I will keep an eye out for friendly targets that are low on health or under attack and try to place guard on them and taunt enemies off them. If you use taunt in PvP, the player will do 30% less damage to the target they're attacking, unless they're attacking you. Guard will also redirect 50% of the damage they take to me, however it does require me to stay pretty close to them to redirect the damage. And as you can see here, I noticed that there wasn't anybody right in front of the door, so I just decided to go over there to keep an eye open on it. Now, this will get me less medals, but it will help us win the game bit. And that's always what you should keep in mind. Right here, I noticed that someone's trying to place the bomb. So I throw my bomb on him, which will go out after a few seconds. I also shoot him to make sure that he can't capture it right there and then. And after about 4 seconds, my bomb is going to go off, and his capture is going to be cancelled because that takes 8 seconds. That's also why damage over time spells are really good in here, because people cannot capture objectives or place bombs while they have a damage over time on them. So if I see there's a bunch of people, I'll try to get as many dots off as I can and fight until I die. Here you can see me placing guard on my friend, which will redirect 50% of the damage to me. And that's really helpful because he was just getting under attack there, and you can see the damage being transferred there. This also gives you some medals, so it's a great way to get some medals if you're desperate for them. You get one at 2,000 protecting damage, 5,000, and then 10,000. But the 10,000 one has to be in 1 life. As we're close to the end of the game, I decided I just want to try and get some extra medals, because they do give you some nice stuff, and we have already won this. There's no way they're going to reach it, because it takes 20 seconds for the bombs to go off, and they have to get through 3 doors. So I just walk around and shoot people and try to kill as many as I can to get those extra medals. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you'd like to see in the future. Like the video and subscribe. And don't forget, at the end of a match, you should always be voting for MVP, because the MVP gets extra commendations. And they've done a great job, so they deserve it.
Download complete. Republic forces have secured the data core.
You are all
Powering
heroes
down.
today.